Firstly, before the video starts, I want to thank Miss Yummy for her $100 donation to help make this video. Please check out her YouTube channel within the pinned comment. And also, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment as well to help support me and the channel. Saitama, also known as the One Punch Man, is a character within his respective series that is so powerful, as I just said, he beats his enemies within one punch. But I'll address this now so that nobody brings this up and gets confused, but Saitama cannot one-punch people outside of his universe, and I will explain why. Firstly, Saitama has been stated to be a gag character by One himself, the creator of the web series or webcomic series One Punch Man, along with his training said to be a gag as well. This is also supported with One saying Saitama's existence is a joke, but he's in a very serious world, so there is that as well. Some people try to use the Wikipedia definition of gag, which isn't really that good to be honest, and only applies to certain fictional characters, not Saitama. The definition of gag that I'm showing on screen right now is the better one and fits more to Saitama than the former. Along with this, here is a part of the interview where One talks about Saitama and his abilities.
でワンパンマンは、逆で、世界がもうすごいシリアスで、簡単に、人が襲われちゃうような怪人とか出てくるところに、ギャグ的な存在の、もう強さがギャグみたいなやつがその世界に放り込まれたらどうなるかっていうのを、観察する漫画っていうか、それを見てると面白い。
Now, when it comes to the translations from the interview with One, he's saying Saitama has gag-like existence, which is the first kanji that's being shown, or gyagu. The next kanji that was said was jodan-di, which translates to joke. He also says suyo saga yagu mitai na, which translates to strength is like a gag. And if you want more proof, suyo, the first kanji used in the explanation, means strength or power, while the second kanji he used means gag itself. So One confirmed multiple times that Saitama is a gag character, along with his training. There are other examples as well, but I feel like this is good enough. But basically what I am saying is that because Saitama is a gag character, and his ability to beat his opponents in One Punch Man is also a gag or a running joke, Saitama can't use this gag outside of his own universe or this joke outside of his own universe because the universe that he goes to that's not his own or would be in doesn't apply to himself. So Saitama is also able to casually interact with and touch subspace gates. A lot of people seem to think that these are hyperspace gates, but they're not. Garo confirms this himself. But this does play into the joke or gag of Saitama and his strength, and still goes to show that Saitama himself is a gag, but even he inside of a very and this still goes to show that Saitama himself is a gag, but he is still inside of a very serious world. Now that I've covered that, let's get into his scaling. So Saitama, for the most part, one punches a lot of his opponents, so there's not really much scaling to give him. The only few fights that Saitama doesn't one punch his opponents and we have some sort of scaling to give him is with his first fight with Boros, who was stated to be able to blow away the planet's surface. This feat should range from multi-continental to star level if you want to either lowball, scale him normally, or just wank the crap out of him. He then fights against Cosmic Fear Garo, and not only does the energy from their punches threaten to destroy the entire planet, Garo is also capable of pulling off a gamma ray burst with said punches. A phenomenon so powerful it is said to be one of the most powerful explosions to ever exist. So Saitama has AP that ranges from multi-continental to moon level, possibly higher, and in terms of speed, he can range from around hypersonic to possibly faster than light. Again, depending on how you scale him. But with that out of the way, let's get into Medaka herself and see where she stacks up in relation to Saitama. Now, Medaka is one of those characters that are very haxed, and she's actually so haxed that Saitama genuinely has no chance of actually beating her. And before the Saitama fans start rioting and bringing out the pitchforks, I'm going to explain. Medaka is someone that is said to never known failure or difficulty and can't understand people's struggles with anything, to be honest, especially things that she considers to be easy. But that's just the surface of how unnatural and powerful she actually is. So in terms of her fighting ability, Medaka was able to destroy armor with just her punches that was stated to be able to withstand, quote-unquote, just about anything. The phrase meaning almost exactly or nearly, but because of how vague and face value the statement is, we can just make the assumption that over a majority of things cannot shatter or break this armor. And Medaka, with just 3 of her full power punches, were able to destroy the armor. Medaka also fought against and beat everyone in the judo club, judo being a martial arts that focuses on throwing, pinning, or mastering the opponent. Mastering in this context meaning to apply pressure to the arm joints or the neck to make the opponent yield. Medaka also states that she knows every martial arts. She also has some form of durability negation, being able to selectively choose targets that can take damage from her attacks, and things like vibrations can affect and damage the opponent despite their durability or distance. She even fought against 640,000 clones of an opponent that was beating her up extremely badly and broke one of her arms during the fight, and she was still able to beat them. Medaka also fought against and beat the 100 strongest people in the academy in a single afternoon, and she even fought against every antagonist in the series up until this point in that same afternoon and won. So basically, she fought the entire cast up to that point and beat them. Also, she was able to destroy the moon by some unknown means, saved a lost alien life form fighting against the evil king in a different universe, and she got involved in a war between the concepts of light and dark. Yes, she got in a war between the literal concepts of light and dark. So she's able to interact with actual concepts. I'm not joking, okay? I'm just not joking. Like, this is literally what is shown in the panel. She has complete control of all of her muscles to the point where she can control each and every single one of them individually, and has complete resistance to mind control. And her abnormality couldn't be stolen by someone whose abnormality is stealing other people's abnormalities. And his hand completely melted when he tried touching her. She also has an insane healing factor, being able to heal all of her broken bones in her body within 90 seconds, and even healing things as small as just like an arm, a shoulder, or anything of that nature can instantly be restored after being damaged. She even fights against someone named Lehiko, whose punches were said to cause damage that never heals, which includes things like time, healing abilities, and even reality warping as well. Lehiko killed her in their fight, but she was able to bring herself back to life using vibrations to make her blood vessels pump blood and move around the body. And she even beat Kumagawa under the effects of Bookmaker. Put a pin in this ability, I'll come back to this later, it's very important. Anyway, she is able to create after images from pure speed alone, create sonic booms with said speed, and she was even able to create a slipstream through use of her shadow clone, which again broke through the sound barrier. And she was also able to combine theme song with Kurakami Phantom, and can basically move at the speed of light for 3 times a day. Also, she was able to fool an omnipotent character, but now that I've talked about some of her feats, I'll go into the abilities that she possesses. One of the abilities that she has is called War God Mode, and she basically enters this mode when she becomes enraged and basically gets a drastic boost in all of her stats and goes berserk. She was able to eventually control it and enter this mode at will. The next mode she has is Altered War God Mode, which is a slight variation of her normal mode, and that's all there really is to it. The next mode she has is Forsaken God Mode, and this mode just essentially nerfs Medaka and makes it so that she will always be weaker than her opponent so that she can have a good fight. She also has Hybrid or Combined God Mode, which mixes her Altered God Mode and Forsaken God Mode, but it didn't really get used at all, so that's really all there is to it. And lastly, she has End God Mode. While it is unclear if this mode gives her a strength increase, it does give her an extremely heavy speed increase, and is one of her best abilities she has in terms of her speed. Another one of her abilities that she has is called The End, which, just like Garo as well in One Punch Man, she can perfectly copy any ability, skill, or technique she sees once, and can enhance them up to 120% capacity, making them stronger than the original. She cannot directly copy someone's physical strength, but even still, she's pretty powerful. Her The End ability also improves so much to the point where she can copy and master any ability just by hearing information about it. This can also stretch to abilities that can warp reality, as I said she can copy. Medaka also has her own version of Ultra Instinct. I am being so serious right now. She copied an ability called Autopilot, which, as the name suggests, allows Medaka's body to fight completely on its own, independently of her thoughts. And because she copied this ability, as I said, and I'll reiterate near the end of the video, she has 120% mastery of said copy ability, meaning it is even more potent and refined than the original user of said ability. Even things like illusions and feints won't trigger her reflexes, and she can also turn this ability on and off at will, something that Takachiho couldn't do. Medaka also has a hidden weapons ability where she can pretty much hide weapons on her body that are completely invisible to the naked eye, and one could never even know that she has these vast majority of weapons on her person. As I said earlier, she has a self-healing ability where she can heal almost anything, ranging from broken bones, dislocated shoulders, fatal injuries, etc. Medaka copied an ability from Aoki Aka called Five Forks. This allows her to manipulate ailments, meaning she can give someone anything ranging from cancer, causing someone a heart attack, or even giving them a fever. There's a lot she can give someone with this ability, and all she has to do is scratch you with her claws. She can also cure any ailments as well with said claws, and she was able to cure her friends from near death, meaning she can cure physical ailments as well. Again, as I said earlier, she copied Hinokage's theme song ability, which only increases her speed, and she combined this ability with her Kurakami Phantom ability, which allows her to move at the speed of light, or light speed. Medaka also has copied an ability called Weighted Words, which allows her to interfere with the target's electrical signals in their brain and brainwash them. She can give out a command and someone under the brainwashing has to obey it against their will, and Weighted Words can also be used through physical contact as well. I'll go through the rest of these quickly while still giving you all the general information, but here we go. Medaka also has copied an ability named Ice Fire. This allows her to control her body temperature to such a degree she is capable of creating ice and fire within the vicinity. She isn't creating actual ice and fire, she's just manipulating her body temperature so well. With this skill, she can seal open wounds and even cool her head to such an extent that she can prevent emotional damage from happening to her as well. Her next copied skill is Mr. Unknown, and this skill allows the user to not be sensed at all, and I do mean at all. The user can be blocked subconsciously from people's memories and senses completely, and this effect can be boosted to where if the user doesn't want to be noticed at all, it is impossible to sense them. Remember earlier when I said to put a pin in that ability named Bookmaker? Well, here's the ability. Bookmaker, another ability Medaka copied, allows her to hit her target with a large screw. The screw itself doesn't do physical damage, but it does three main important things once hit. The first thing it does is make the target feel absolute despair. This is something that you cannot shake off or get rid of while you're under the effects of the screw. The second thing it does is make the user and target completely equal across all stats. Basically, it turns into an equal stats battle. And even if the target tries to, let's say, power up or even steal her abilities to make her stronger, Bookmaker will forcefully nullify any of those things and make the user and target forcefully equalize no matter what. And when I say everything, I mean everything ranging from intellect, strength, skill, talent, durability, speed, damage, etc. You get the point. This ability also seals the abilities and techniques of both the user and the target, making it pretty much only an equal stats hand-to-hand combat fight. So if the target is not good at hand-to-hand combat like Saitama, you guys can understand why this is a problem. Also, this ability is so powerful, it took an omnipotent being 3 years to remove the technique. So, yeah, this thing's pretty broken. Her next copied ability is called Scar Dead, and this ability reopens any old wounds that the target has ever gotten. It doesn't matter how much time passed when they got the said wounds, or even if they got them healed or not. The wounds can range from pretty much anything, and it extends to emotional wounds or trauma as well. And it can even affect inanimate objects. In order for Medaka to use this, all she has to do is will it to activate, and those in her presence are under the effects. Her next skill is Encounter, and this skill makes whatever damage Medaka receives go to any object or person nearby instead of her. This again also extends to emotional or mental trauma or damage as well, not just physical. If Medaka used this in a versus battle, she can use this on her opponent so whatever damage they try to throw at her gets reflected back at them, and it's pretty broken to be honest. The ability also nullifies damage even if you're airborne or being attacked from every direction at once. And her last and final skill that she has, which is her second most powerful skill behind her skill at the end, it is called All Fiction. This skill turns reality into nothing or erasing things from existence. Medaka can use this ability without any incantations, hand gestures, and it doesn't even use or require any energy to activate the ability. She can literally just erase someone or something out of existence. Medaka can also use All Fiction even after she dies to bring herself back to life. And this ability works on a universal scale as well. Someone was able to remove all color from the universe, and this ability works on pretty much anything you can imagine. It's not limited to imagination. I'm just saying it's pretty much anything can be erased by this ability by pretty much whoever has the ability. For example, physical objects, someone's aura, someone's senses, injury and wounds, events that took place in the past, memories of other people, or even one's own death. She can erase other people from existence, and she can erase the entire world if she so chooses. Anyways, who would win between Saitama and Medaka? If you all haven't been paying attention, it's Medaka, and it's not even close, and I'm just not going to explain why. Like, if you guys just have not been listening, I don't know what to tell you. Even if you were to rank Saitama to oblivion and said that he can one-punch her, what good will that do against her if she can just infinitely keep reviving herself or healing herself and using any and all of her hacked abilities just to cheese Saitama and win? And remember how I said Bookmaker makes the target completely equal to the user and it seals their abilities? Saitama would not be able to also grow or use his growth to pretty much outscale her, because Bookmaker will forcefully stop his growth and equalize them over and over again. So Saitama can't grow during the battle, so they'll just be pretty much stuck equal until Medaka beats him. So Saitama in the entire One Punch Man verse gets clapped by Medaka, and before anyone brings up the God being, we haven't seen him fight, so we don't know how competent he is in a battle, so using him also won't work. And he seems to be more of a spectator than an actual fighter at the moment, so yeah, you can't use him in this situation anyway. Anyways, thank you again, Miss Yummy, for the $100 donation to hear me talk about this topic. If you or anyone else would like me to make a video on said topics, check the pinned comment down below for details and send me however much money you want. Don't forget to leave a like, subscribe, and comment if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all in the next video. Take care.